Hey everyone, it's time to model. Welcome back to our latest how-to series. Today we're going to show you how to build one of our kit classics, HO scale 40-foot 70-ton 4-bay open hoppers. All right, let's get started. So the first step you're going to want to do is remove the outer cover of the box. Then you're going to take the plastic cradle out. As we've done with some of our other kit classic cars, this tutorial is going to seem very similar. You're going to remove the outer cover from the sleeve. Then you're going to remove the car body, carefully removing the vellum and the coal load. Then you've got some of your underbody frame there, some detail parts, and of course the couplers and the coupler boxes. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to take out some of the weights. These weights basically keep your car from wobbling or, picking switches on your layout, ensuring smooth operation. Now that we've laid them out, we're going to add them kind of at a slanted angle at each end of the car. And then essentially what we're going to do is put the oxide red plastic piece over the top of the weight. That way it hides it and it makes it look more prototypical. So we're going to do that on one end of the car, and then we will repeat the process here on the back end of the car. Make sure it's nice and snug in there. It should just snap right into place. All right, now that we've done that, we're going to flip the car over and we're going to add the frame. Make sure it fits nice and snug in there. Now that we've got that, we're going to open up one of our parts bags. And as we've said in previous videos, it's a lot easier to keep track of all your parts if the surface that you're working on is white, or even if it's, say, green or blue, just as long as it's not a dark color. That way it's easier to see where all the detail parts are. So when you open the parts baggie, you're going to want to make sure that you separate all of the screws and the coupler boxes. That way it's easier to keep track. Then we're going to use a small screwdriver to screw the frame in place. We'll just do that one by one. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to screw it in, but just be patient with this process. We are dealing with scale parts 87 times smaller than the prototype, so it's not always easy, but if you're patient, you will be able to get them in there no problem. Make sure you give it a nice twist. Make sure they're snug, but not too snug. You don't want to break any of the plastic parts by screwing it in too tightly. It's always better too to make sure that your screwdriver is magnetic. That way it holds the screw into place and you don't have to worry about potentially losing it. And then what we're going to do is, as you can see, the coupler is being set into place. There's a really small copper piece, and that piece essentially allows the coupler to move back and forth smoothly. You're going to want to put that in first, then you're going to put the coupler in. Make sure that the coupler is the correct side up. Otherwise, if you don't, you're going to have to take the coupler completely off and redo this entire process. So I've done it many times. I've put it up the wrong way and had to completely take the coupler box apart and repeat the process. So save yourself some time and make sure that the coupler is the right side in the first place. Then what we're going to do is repeat the exact same process. You're going to take that little copper piece that holds the coupler into place. Oops, dropped it there. There we go. Now it's nice and snug in there. And then you're going to set the coupler right on top of that. It should fit in nice and snug. And you're going to take the coupler box cover, lay that over the top. It'll only fit in one way. Forgot to mention that earlier. It'll only fit in one way, so make sure it's fitting in the right way. Then you're going to take your screw, tighten that up. Again, same thing. You want it to be tight, but not too tight. Otherwise, if it's too tight, your coupler is not going to move very smoothly whatsoever. And now that it's nice and snug in there, we're going to take the brake wheel and place the brake wheel into the hole where it goes on the end of the car. Now you can use glue to secure it. We did not use glue here in this video. It fits nice and snug in there. That's totally up to you as the modeler. And we're going to put the trucks in. Of course, make sure your trucks are the correct side up. And you just take that screw and make sure it's nice and snug in there. Again, not too tight. Otherwise, your trucks won't move very well when they're going around curves. And of course, repeating the process on the other end of the car. Again, just making sure that it's tight, but not too tight. And of course, this car comes with a removable coal load. That way you can simulate loaded versus empty coal trains. It's totally up to you, the modeler, as to whether or not you want to put the load in upon building it. So with that, that concludes our latest Kit Classics HO Scale Time to Model assembly video. And we'd like to thank you guys for subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit the like button. It really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. And for those of you who are new to the Scale Trains channel, hit subscribe. We post how-to videos like this often in our Time to Model series. And also, make sure you visit scaletrains.com to see if these cars are in stock. You can click the link in the video description to see which road names are available. With that, thanks for tuning in and happy railroading.